is to be read in bed. Okay, ready? The news just came in from the county of Nick that a very small bug by the name of Van Vleck is yawning so wide you can look down his neck. This may not seem very important, I know, but it is, so I'm bothering telling you so. A yawn is quite catchy, you see, like a cough. It just takes one yawn to start other yawns off. Then the news has come in that some friends of Van Vleck's are yawning so wide you can look down their necks. At this moment right now, under 7 more noses, great yawns are in blossom, they're blooming like roses. The yawn of that one little bug is still spreading. According to latest reports, it is heading across the wide fields, through the sleepy night air, across the whole country towards every which where, and people are gradually starting to say, I feel rather drowsy. I've had quite a day. Creatures are starting to think about rest. 2 biffa birds are now building their nest. They do it each night, and quite often I wonder how they do this big job without making a blunder. But that is their problem, not yours and not mine. The point is they're going to bed, and that's fine. Sleep thoughts are spreading for the whole land. The time for night brushing of teeth is at hand. Up at Hammer Falls, where the great river rushes and crashes down crags in great gargling gushes. The Hammer sisters are using their brushes. Those falls are just grand for tooth brushing beneath, if you happen to be up that way with your teeth. The news just came in from the castle of Grub that the lights are all out and the drawbridge is up, and the old drawbridge drawer just said with a yawn, my drawbridge is drawn and it's going to stay drawn till the milkman delivers the milk about dawn. I'm going to bed now, so nobody better come round with a special delivery letter. The number of sleeps is steadily growing. Bed is where more and more people are going. In Culpeper Springs, in the Stilt Walker's Hole. The Stilt Walker's stilts are all stacked on the wall. The Stilt Walker walkers have called it a day. They're all tucking out and they're snoozing away. This is very big news. It's important to know, and that's why I'm bothering telling you so. heads off have gone to sleep, and now they're talking their heads off. For 55 years now, each chatting brother has blabbed and gabbed all night to the other. They talked about lawns, they talked about cars, they talked about paws, and they talked about floors. They talked quite a lot about old Santa Claus. And the reason I'm telling you this is because you should take up this sport. It's just fine for the jaws. Do you walk in your sleep? I just had a report of some interesting news of this popular sport. Near Finnegan Fen, there's a sleepwalking group which not only walks but it walks a la loop. Each night they go miles, while they walk to such length they have to keep eating to keep up their strength. So every so often one puts down his hoop, stops hooping, and does some quick snooping for soup. That's why they are known as the Hop Soup Snoop Group. Sleepwalking too are the curious grandals who sleepwalk on hills with assorted sized candles. In spite of slight burns from the hot dripping grease, the grandals wear candles before they walk far, and if they wake up, want to see where they are. Now the news has arrived from the Valley of Vale that a Chippendale mop has bitten his tail, which he does every night before shutting his eyes. Such nipping sounds silly, but really it's wise. He has no alarm clock, so this is the way he makes sure that he'll wake up at the right time of day. His tail is so long he won't feel any pain, till the nip makes the trip and gets up to his brain. In exactly 8 hours, the Chippendale mop will at last feel the bite and yell ouch and wake up. Mr. and Mrs. J. Carmichael Crocs have gone to bed near the town of Fort Knox, and they, by the way, have the finest of clocks. I'm not at all sure that I quite understand just how the thing works with that one extra hand, but I do know this clock does one very slick trick. It does tick-tock. How it goes is tock-tick. So it ticks and it's tocker, and tocks and it's ticker. It saves lots of time and the sleepers sleep quicker. What a fine night for sleeping, for all that I hear. It's the best night for sleeping in many a year. They're even asleep in the Sweetback Motel, and people don't usually sleep there too well. The beds are like rocks, and as everyone knows, the sheets are too short, they won't cover your toes. So if people are actually sleeping in there, it's a great night for sleeping, it must be the air. It's a great night for snores. I just had a report of some boys who are tops in this musical sport. The snorers in all our fair land are Snortier McPhil and his snort band. This band can snort Dixie and Old Swan River so loud it would make 40 elephants shiver. The loudest of all of the boys is McPhil. He snores with his head in a tree-gallon pail. So they snore in a cave 20 miles out of town. If they snore closer in, they would snort the town down. Do you know who's asleep out in Funa Laguna? Two very nice Funa Laguna baboona. We've added them into our who's asleep count, which has grown into a really amazing amount. Exactly 8,808,000 creatures are sleeping now. Isn't that great? goose dreams of moose juice, and nothing goes wrong when a goose dreams of goose juice. But isn't it too good when a moose and a goose start dreaming they're drinking the other one's juice? Moose juice, not goose juice, is juice for a moose, and goose juice, not moose juice, is juice for a goose. So when goose gets a mouthful of juices of moose, and moose gets a mouthful of juices of goose, they always fall out of their bed screaming, scream. So I'm warning you now, never drink in your dreams. Speaking of dreaming, I think you should note that the Bumble Tub Club is now dreaming afloat. Every night they go dreaming down Bumble Tub Creek, except for one night, every third or fourth week, when they stop for repairs because their bumble tubs leak. But tonight they're afloat, full of dreams, full of bliss, and that's why I'm bothering telling you this. At the foot of a road in the Vale of Vavode, 540 weary salesmen have laid down their load. All day they raced round in the heat at top speeds, unsuccessfully trying to sell scissor soft seeds, which nobody wants because nobody needs. Tomorrow will come, they go back to their chore, they'll start on the road, scissor softing once more. But tonight they've forgotten their feet are so sore, and that's what the wonderful night time is for. Everywhere creatures have shut off their voices. They've all gone to bed in the bed of their choices. They're sleeping in nooks and they're sleeping in cracks. Some on their tummies and some on their backs. They're peacefully sleeping in comfortable holes. Some even on soft barber shop bowls. The number of sleepers is now past the millions. The number of sleepers is now in the billions. They're sleeping on steps and on strings and on floors, in mailbox ships and the keyholes of doors. Every worm on a fish hook is safe for the night. Every fish in the sea is too sleepy to bite. Every whale in the ocean has turned off his spout. Every light between here and far, food always out. And now adding things up, we are way beyond billions. Our who's asleep score is now up in the zillions. Zillion, 9 trillion and 2 creatures are sleeping, so how about you? When you put out your light, then the number will be 99 zillion.